you saw a lot of attention is paid them. We pay huge money, a lot of time is spent across other than the college time. So is it what India wants? I mean, and there were, I think, if you just imagine what you were there like couple of years back or a few, then you would see that all of your interest is more towards coaching centers, right? How to pass the exam rather than what you learn in those 2 years, right? So those are the budding years where you spend time understanding the education and what it brings to life, right? So I would say education is like blood to body. So education is what it makes to a culture and a country, right? So, and India being fast emerging as a nation of to compete in other parts of the world and be in the top 10 league. So I would say, I think coaching center is not what we would aim for. I mean, at least not how the kids are passed through and what they cram through and they are sent to a higher university. It is something was meant initially to educated private tutorials, right? To teach weak students. So is the end goal met, having coaching centers, right? And are we moving kind of away from the main education, because the people who are teaching in main education center, they will delineate themselves and then become more commercial, right? I mean, the intent is not to make a weak student and average student to achieve more, but the intent is to get the first. I mean, it's a rat race, get to the top first and fast. Yep. So with that, I think the key benefits of not having that kind of situation and more focused approach is just, if you see all other countries in this world, when like US, Germany, so they don't have so many entrance exams patterns, and all these are built into systems. So they have one system, it evaluates that on an equal basis, and that's done, right? And I imagine also that what image you are going to portray to the world when somebody comes to Bangalore, somebody is there on the outer ring road, right? There is like Venkat IAS, Archana IPS. So there are, it is not names of the person, but those are nook and corner scenarios. So does that mean, I mean, see, university education or education in +2 or earlier is a formal education that you get, and these are called informal education. So if somebody is what's going to be image, like if informal education is stressed so more, and to give you stats, I think I would few of the things I would note it down. So when compared to India, and I just took Germany instead of US or some other top countries. So the people, this is UNESCO report, the people teacher ratio in India is 40 and Germany is 14. Okay, and education spending, what we spend on education on percentage GDP is 4%, which is also as good as Germany, 4%. But if you see our universities, right, universities which are in top 100, I mean universities that are in the top 100, we just have 2 of them. Germany, being a small country, has 2 of them, right? So and universities which are greater than top 500, right? India, we have only 3, and Germany, can guess how many of them are there? There are 40 of them. So being small country, I mean, being a small country and having, if many of them have visited, I think if you have opportunity to visit outside, you would have not seen any informal education. That's what being focused on in India. It's totally commercialized. Okay, it's I think students are stressed out just to learn about the exam pattern rather than to understand the concepts of the subjects that they are learning. And it also brings a lot of stress to parents as well, because to give a typical example, I was just evaluating an insurance agent recently for my kids, some kind of plan. He came for selling. So I said, what does it cost to be now, and what does, I think my kid was like around 4 years, so what does it cost for him so I can prepare for after 14 or 15 years when he starts his +2 or whatever university education. He said you need at least 20 lakhs. Can I imagine, I mean, if he is there around that age and to get 20 lakhs at this point in time? So it brings a lot of pressure to us as well. Like, if this is only education, what it would cost. Leave about the coaching centers. So we spend a lot of energy, time, stress on non-key education things rather than on the key. What I would request is, we all should, as a Toastmasters, right, as individual members, so we should think that if anyone of us could educate one of other kids around you, right, and partner with parents and other around you, saying that, okay, coachings are not always important, right, it's the concepts that make you come up in life, the basics of things. and if you teach them like your interests or hobbies, I think one kid to your niece, or it could be related to your neighbor, I think it goes a long way, because the more association you have with the kid, I think that's where you are. I think that's what this coaching is. It's not coaching to make it commercialize and get cramming to the examination situation. So I would say my request is have this kind of thought, and let us try to see that we kind of, at least around us, yeah. When India is going and we leading into 2020 or 2030, that we want to be top 3 countries of the world. So I think education will become foundation, and each of us, right? If we do, I think probably it will have a greater impact. At least you try doing some initial, like 1 or 2 hours. It makes a lot of sense. The guy who gets, I think I did for a few of the guys who were their neighbors, they were so indebted, right, to me, and they were so happy. I mean, though they were very intelligent, right? Even they didn't need coaching. Only thing, I just had interest to see that whether they are getting through it, because that's what my hobby is. But they always remember, like even for a lifelong time, like, so that association is important. And with that, I think I would say the key benefits would be, we would be faster moving into a top 10 countries of the world, and we as a country would overall develop, not just like an engineering or some other place, like all the areas of art, agriculture, science, any other aspects. And the flip side of it is, I just had one more statistic, just want to conclude that anybody knows, like excuse me, of our youngsters, right? I mean, what stress it brings. Maybe, I think I just had the statistics, maybe it not be directly related. So how many of you know that what was the average age in 1990 when youngsters would consume first time alcohol, and what is its current? So the stats said in 1990 the average age when the first time guy consumed an alcohol was 28 years. And today current, can you just guess what's that?
14.
19 years. You see what I'm saying? So all our kids, and somebody who is going to parenting currently or future, right? Keep this stats in mind. And one more stats I want to kind of let you know. So this was yeah. And the key education, what I said was, do you know what are the chances that an Indian engineering as a student who can barely, I mean, do a good English while working? I mean, does he have a good English conversation skill only for working? What is the average kind of thing? I mean, how many people are able to do? It is 1 out of 4. Only 1 in 4 guys can able to converse in English and comprehend to his education. So if you put more stress on this coaching factor, I think the percentage is very less. Like if you employ, I mean, if you have 4 guys, only 25% is employable, then you can understand this. And what is the, I mean, one more fact is, what are the chances that Indian engineering students can't write grammatically correct, right? That is 2 in 5. So with that, I want to conclude that with this statistics, which surpasses what it should be in single digit, like it more than 25%, we should streamline these kind of concepts in university education, which was traditionally meant for, and not going for coaching centers and just cramming up some things and get through it. So these stats, with that, I'll leave to the table to the Toastmasters. Thank you.